Wealth is not an accident. It is a sequence. The people who build lasting wealth aren't smarter than you, and most of them don't earn dramatically more than you. They run a different system, a specific one, the same one every single time money arrives. It's 5 jars, a precise order, run on every paycheck, before a single cent is spent on daily life. And here's what makes it powerful. Once the sequence runs automatically, building wealth stops depending on willpower. It stops being something you hope happens at the end of the month and becomes something that already happened the moment you got paid. As long as your income covers your basic needs, the sequence does the rest. Let's start with why almost everyone else's system quietly fails. Here's the financial algorithm most people run without realizing it. Money arrives, they pay their bills, they buy what they need, they spend on what they want, and they save whatever is left over, which most months is nothing. There are 2 fatal design flaws buried in this routine. The first is sequencing. The important things, saving, investing, giving, happen last, which means they almost never happen. By the end of the month, the money has already found its way somewhere else. The second is psychology. When money sits in your account unassigned, it creates gravity. Every day it sits there, the pull towards spending grows stronger. Life gets expensive, things come up, and the money that was supposed to go somewhere important quietly disappears. The 5-jar system solves this, not by demanding more discipline, but by removing the decision entirely. It doesn't say, save what you can. It assigns exact percentages, in an exact order, that leave no room for negotiation. The moment your paycheck lands, it's already divided. The decision has already been made. The psychology never gets a chance to intervene. The secret isn't willpower, it's architecture. Set this architecture up once, and it keeps producing the same result on every paycheck. Here's exactly how it works. Every paycheck, 5 jars, same percentages, same order. Non-negotiable. Jar 1. Give, 10%. The first jar is the most counterintuitive one. Before rent, before groceries, before investing. 10% goes to giving. This sounds like a strange place to start a wealth system, but there's a reason it goes first, and it's not really about the money, it's about what it does to you. When you give before you feel you can afford to, you train your nervous system out of scarcity. The person who gives first has quietly decided they are not dependent on every single dollar. That shift, from scarcity to stewardship, is the foundation every other financial behavior is built on. It's hard to make calm, long-term money decisions from a place of fear. Giving first is how you step out of that fear. The person who gives first spends from abundance. The person who gives last spends from anxiety. Jar 2. Save, 10%. The second jar is security. 10% of every paycheck moves automatically into a high-yield savings account until you've built 3 to 6 months of expenses. Its only job, to be there when something goes wrong. Without this jar, every crisis is a financial catastrophe. With it, a crisis becomes an inconvenience. And the difference in how you carry yourself, the decisions you make, the risks you can take, the jobs you can say no to, is enormous. Security isn't a luxury. It's the foundation that makes every other jar possible. Jar 3. Invest, 10%. The third jar is the engine. 10% of every paycheck goes into long-term wealth building. In modern terms, a broad market index fund. Automatically, every time, without exception. One of the oldest principles in investing is also the simplest. Don't put everything in one place and make your money productive instead of idle. A broad index fund does both for you in a single step. Here's the math that makes this jar matter. $800 a month at 7% a year, roughly the market's long-term historical average, grows to around $1 million in 30 years. Not because of luck or timing, because of compounding, applied consistently over time. Consistency is the one ingredient that turns an ordinary income into real wealth. And if 10% feels out of reach right now, start at 5. The percentage matters less than the habit. Build the system first, scale the numbers later. Jar 4. Educate. 10%. The fourth jar is the one most financial systems ignore entirely. 10% of every paycheck goes toward developing yourself. Books, courses, skills, mentors. This isn't a soft, feel-good idea. It's the engine of income growth. The 10% you invest in your capability today directly determines the salary you can command in 10 years. You can optimize how you split a paycheck all day long, but the fastest way to win is to make the paycheck itself bigger, and that comes from raising your skills. Knowledge is the one asset that can't be taxed, can't be taken, and compounds faster than any market. Your income is a function of your value. This jar raises the function. Jar 5. Live. 60%. The final 60% is yours, completely, guilt-free. Rent, food, transport, going out, everything your actual life requires. This isn't restricted spending. This is clean money, because you've already honored every priority. You've given, you've secured yourself, you've invested in your future and your growth. What remains is genuinely yours to spend however you like. Most people spend with a low-level background guilt, a nagging sense they should probably be saving more. When you run the jars in the right order, that guilt disappears. The system already handled it. When you've already taken care of tomorrow, today becomes guilt-free. Here's what most people miss the first time they hear about this system. It isn't the percentages that matter most, it's the order. The system doesn't say, save when you can, invest when the market looks good, and give when you're feeling generous. It says, give first, always. Save second, always. Invest third, always. Educate fourth, always. Live on the rest. And every step in that order was built around a specific way people fail with money. Giving first breaks the scarcity mindset. Saving second removes financial anxiety. Investing third starts the compounding clock that doesn't care about your mood. Educating fourth raises the income that feeds the whole system. And living on 60% turns out to be, for most people, more than enough. That's why the order is the real product here, not the jars themselves. You could know all 5 categories and still fail, simply by doing them in the wrong sequence, or last instead of first. Most people already know they should save, invest, and keep learning. What they're missing isn't the list, it's the order, and the automation that makes the order survive a tired month. Wealth doesn't belong to the lucky, it belongs to whoever runs the sequence. Here's what changes the month after you set this up. You stop negotiating with yourself every time money arrives. The decisions have already been made. The money knows where to go. You carry less anxiety because your future is already being funded automatically in the background. And quietly, without drama, the compounding begins. The setup takes about 20 minutes. The discipline it asks for is choosing the system once, not re-choosing it every month when you're tired and the money is just sitting there. 5 jars, same sequence, every single paycheck. Give first, save second, invest third, educate fourth, live on the rest. The people who build lasting wealth didn't discover something the rest of us can't access. They just ran the same sequence consistently until the math did the work for them. Now you have the sequence. Subscribe. Every week we break down the systems that quietly run your financial life. Stop surviving. Start building. I'll see you in the next one.